Number 3, faith to faith involves what you say. What are you saying when you get up off your knees from praying about that thing while you're in your tube? What are you saying? Your world is framed by the words that you speak. What are you speaking? Because death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat. We cut that part off. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. But the rest of that says, but those who love it will eat the fruit thereof. What are you saying? We give death and life to situations in our life by what we speak. That's why it's important we say things haphazardly, meaning we just say them just to be saying them. But as believers, because we understand that there's power in our mouth, we have to be careful. Even when we're saying idle things or things that might seem like nothing, but they really are something because they produce a fruit. Be mindful. Be mindful what you're speaking over other people, because that's producing a fruit in their life. Quit saying, those kids are bad. Those kids are bad, because each time you say it, guess what you're producing in their life? Bad. The gospel of the righteousness of God is revealed through your faith walk. Your walk should be the living word for those around you. The sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, is what moves the hand of God to get the deed done or complete the work He started in your life. When you speak the word of God, it sets the hand of God in motion. You need the word of God to open the hand for the promise to be manifested. You can't do it without His word. Don't listen to somebody telling you don't have to read the word. Yes, you do. Because how else will you know when He's speaking to you? Because it has to line up to His word. Faith, God responds to His word. Faith comes by hearing by. Faith in Greek is the word pistis. Pistis means persuasion. Hearing comes from the Greek word akoe. That's where we get our English word echo. What is an echo? A sound that keeps repeating itself long after the sound has stopped. So your persuasion comes by what's been echoed from the word of God long after you've heard it. That's why it's important to keep hearing, because it is in the hearing that you'll increase your faith. Now listen, your faith is determined by what you're hearing. So if you're filling yourself with a bunch of junk, you're hearing a bunch of junk, that's where your faith is going to go. If you're hearing a bunch of negativity, that's what you're going to start believing. That's why the Word of God says faith comes by hearing by. The Word of God has to be in there. When you're repeatedly hearing the Word of God, it increases your faith. Since faith comes by hearing by the Word of God, faith is the word echoed, resulting in persuasion. It's resulting in your moral conviction. Faith is moral conviction. Conviction of what? What the Word of God says. Persuasion of what? Number 1, that God is who He says He is. Number 2, He does what He says He will do. 3, you can have what He says you can have. Now, I'm not talking about name it and claim it. Not name it and claim it. I'm talking about the desires that He's placed in your heart, because it says delight yourself in the Lord and He will give you the desires of your heart. The promises that He's placed in your heart, that He's spoken into your life, those are things that He will do because He said it, not your self-will.